The moment the engine died in the middle of the glass and steel boulevard, every eye turned toward the poor single father standing beside the silent car, grease on his hands and exhaustion in his bones, while the millionaire owner watched with amusement from behind dark sunglasses, convinced that this broken man and this broken machine were nothing more than entertainment that would last far longer than 15 minutes. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that remind us what truly matters, take a moment right now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel Bright Hearts. Your support helps stories like this reach the people who need them most. The single dad had not planned to be there that morning. His day had begun before sunrise in a cramped apartment where the walls carried the echoes of bills overdue and dreams postponed. He had carefully woken his young daughter, helped her tie her worn shoes, and packed her lunch with the quiet precision of a man who could not afford mistakes. After dropping her at school, he had gone straight to the only place that ever gave him peace, the small, cluttered repair yard where he worked odd jobs, fixing machines that others had abandoned. Cars, generators, broken tools, old engines that everyone else called junk were the only things that ever listened to him. They never judged his torn jacket or the way his shoulders slumped from years of carrying more than his share of the world. That morning, a luxury sports car had arrived on a flatbed, gleaming like a jewel dropped into the dust. It belonged to a local millionaire known for his sharp suits, louder laughter, and complete lack of patience. The car had stalled mysteriously on the road, humiliating him in front of business partners and passers-by. He wanted it fixed immediately, not out of necessity, but pride. When the single dad looked under the hood, he saw more than a machine failure. He saw neglect hidden beneath polish, shortcuts masked by expensive parts, and a simple fault that only someone who had learned the hard way would notice. He said it would be fixed in 15 minutes, not with arrogance, but with quiet certainty. The millionaire laughed because that was easier than listening. He laughed because he had never needed to trust someone who owned nothing. He laughed because the man standing before him did not look like success. He looked tired, poor, and invisible. The single dad began to work, his hands moving with calm precision. Each movement carried years of practice earned in shadows, fixing things no one wanted to pay to repair. As he worked, memories pressed in on him. The night his wife passed away after a sudden illness, leaving him with a child and a future that collapsed overnight. The months that followed, when grief and responsibility collided, and he learned that the world rarely slows down for broken hearts. He remembered losing his steady job when he missed too many days caring for his daughter. He remembered pawning tools to buy groceries, then slowly buying them back one by one with money earned from small repairs. Every bolt he loosened, every wire he tested, was tied to survival. Around them, people gathered. Some filmed. Some whispered. Some waited for the inevitable failure. The millionaire checked his watch repeatedly, smiling in disbelief, already preparing a sarcastic remark for when the time ran out. To him, 15 minutes was an insult, a joke told by a man who did not understand his place in the world. But the single dad understood time better than anyone there. He understood what 15 minutes could mean to a child waiting at school, to a landlord waiting for rent, to a man praying for dignity. He traced the problem carefully, ignoring the noise, blocking out the weight of being watched. He found the fault hidden deep, a small but critical issue caused by an overlooked sensor and a misaligned connection. It was the kind of problem that fooled expensive diagnostic machines but revealed itself to patient hands and an attentive mind. As the seconds passed, the crowd grew quieter. The laughter faded. The millionaire's confidence began to thin, replaced by irritation, then confusion. The single dad wiped his hands on a rag that had seen better days, reconnected the final piece, and closed the hood with a gentle firmness that spoke of respect for the machine. He stepped back, nodded to the driver, and the engine roared to life, smooth and powerful, cutting through the air like a promise kept. The sound silenced the street. It was not just a car starting, it was a moment snapping into place, reality correcting itself in front of everyone. The millionaire froze. The smile that had once danced on his face vanished, replaced by something unfamiliar and uncomfortable. He stared at the man who had just done the impossible in his mind. 15 minutes had passed. Exactly 15.